TitleMatchNetwork.com.
Once I learned the whole concept around the TV wrestling, I was okay working it a bit, but it was just hard to comprehend in my head, not to lay them in harder.
Yeah.
Now some of the things we do lay in, but some of the things are designed for TV, so you're kind of watching what you're doing. So some of that was difficult, and like one thing that became difficult for me, it was just really hard as I was in the business to do an interview and make it look like a shoot when I'm supposed to be mad at somebody standing 5 feet from me, because if I was that mad at you and you were that close to me, we're just going to go.
Yeah.
I don't argue with people. I don't want to yell at people. I'm just going to I've had it. Here we go.
Yeah.
And so that was difficult. I think that was difficult for Ken too, microphone wise. I just never seemed to put that through my head to just be able to scream at somebody standing 5 feet from me. If I was that mad at you, I'm just going to hit you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But, probably cut off my nose and spread my face. I didn't get better at that. And as far as the business goes, just if you get that niche on the mic.
Yeah.
Well, in high school, I did Ishinru between baseball and football. Junior high, I wrestled and played baseball, football. High school, I took karate between baseball and football. And then when I got down to Florida, I took Kenpo. I boxed at college. And then after that, in the early 90s, I started doing the jiu-jitsu.
Oh, wow.
When I finished up with WWF, I did more jiu-jitsu. And just over all the years, kind of threw it all together. And now I have my own MMA school in Harrisburg.
Oh, do you really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I have a lot of guys that fight.
Wow. Now, you also had an extensive background in weightlifting before you got into wrestling. If you could talk about that.
I was always into working out, probably obsessed with it when I was younger. Fortunately, I grew out of that. But I just always trained. Always played sports from age 8 to college, baseball, football, wrestle, basketball, boxing, whatever. And I don't know, my brothers were always working out. They're all in shape. We just always trained hard like that.
Yeah.
I used to enter a lot of benching competitions, curling competitions, stuff like that.
Yeah. Did you find that you had good genetics, that it came to you quick, naturally, or?
I did. I feel I did have good genetics. My family has good genetics. My brothers are built similar. But nevertheless, I still attribute most of it to the work ethic. I mean, we train our butts off.
Yeah. Was it tempting at that time to do steroids, especially back in the 80s?
Back in the 80s, it was. When I got into lifting and moved away, I was always opposed to doing steroids. Always. I can't stand putting anything in my body. I can't stand having my mind altered or anything. Like, I still don't even drink.
Wow.
I just don't. I can't stand having anything alter my thoughts. So, but back to the question about the steroids. Back in the 80s, I tried them a little bit. Then I stopped, tried them a little bit again, stopped. I did them probably off and on. I don't know exactly. So don't hold me to it. Half a dozen times.
Yeah.
Like do them for 8 weeks, stop for 8. And then I went to my doctor and I'm like, I just not gaining much. Well, I was like really leery about taking many. So point being, I was taking like probably just a little more than my body was producing naturally. So it was kind of one of those things that was a waste of time.
Yeah.
Some of the guys just take loads of them. Anyway, in '89, I had a separated shoulder. So I got some cortisone for it and I had an allergic reaction to it. And I was just red as a beet for 3 days, couldn't breathe right, just felt like I was on fire, couldn't sleep. A few weeks later, the doctor gave me a smaller dose of cortisone because my shoulder was just so ripped up. Same thing happened.
Wow.
So about a month later, again, don't hold me exactly that, give or take a couple of weeks. But then we tried a regular steroid and the same thing happened to me. So I had 3 reactions to cortisone and steroid, and that was in '89, and I have never done anything since then. No growth hormone, no steroid, no nothing.
Wow.
I just forced myself to train my butt off and eat right. So I never took anything, not even protein drinks and stuff when I was wrestling.
Wow.
Just ate like crazy and trained all the time.
When's the last time you had a piece of chocolate cake?
Oh, there's like, if I eat, say you eat 5 times a day. If I eat 35 meals in a week, I can say 2 or 3 of them, I can bang up a bag of cookies pretty good.
TitleMatchNetwork.com.